Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Okay, it's an afternoon review today. I've actually got the house myself for a few minutes, so I'm going to do a quick review as the sun pours in through the window and everything is right with the world. It's actually a really nice day today, so that's my South London weather update out of the way. Okay, this is now my fourth attempt at doing this video. It was going to be two videos to start off with. One would be a discussion on clones, and the second part of the video, or the second video, was going to be a review of the perfume we're here to talk about. So I've dispensed with this idea because every time I try to film it, it just comes across as me rambling away incoherently and just chatting far too much. So I'm going to do a review, and then what we'll do is at the end of the review, we'll have a little bit of a discussion about clones, and somehow this clone debate will kind of merge into the review. So anyway, I'm waffling already, and that's a worrying start. So today we're going to talk about this monster, which is called Oud for Glory. And if you watch my videos, you'll know that I never really talk about packaging, but Lattafa have done a very nice job of this in terms of the box. So it's very solid, very hard, nice, real plastic. So it's not bad actually. The box is particularly good. Now we have our first problem that I have with this perfume when we get it out of its lovely box. Here it is. And it says here, Bade'e Al Oud, Oud for Glory. Now those of you, this bottle is awesome, by the way. It's really heavy, it's really solid, the cap is really good, it feels like high quality and all the rest of it, but I do have a massive problem with it. When you look at this and then you look at the perfume that it's cloning, I think it's out of order, to be honest. I think it's one thing to clone another company's perfume or to be inspired by another company's perfume. I've got quite a few clones. I think pretty much everybody that's ever been interested in fragrance will have had this or tried this. Certainly a lot of people have got this. And then obviously my favourite of all the clones is this, which is Le Yucawam by Rosasi. This is a clone of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, and I actually prefer this to Tuscan Leather. So I'm not in any position to rant about clones, but I do think that this takes the biscuit. It doesn't sit right with me at all. Now, if you've not tried Initio's Oud for Greatness, you will have certainly heard about it if you've been in Fragcom or anywhere or on the Facebook or any kind of social media with perfume people, because it's a real hyped fragrance at the moment. It's constantly talked about. It's very expensive. It's the original is £250 for a 90ml bottle, so it's a big hitting. It's a big price ticket. And it's a good fragrance. I really like it, but I don't love it. Rich, on the other hand, absolutely loves it. I think he's got two bottles. So what I can do now, actually, if I do this, so you can see the bottle there, I'll do it nice and slowly, hold it up, bring it back. There's the lid. And even the base has got some work on it as well. Now what I'll do is I'll ask Rich to put up his bottle, I think he's got more than one, so you can have a look and see how they compare. Now, it is such a popular fragrance and it is so expensive, so inevitably it was going to be cloned. It's always going to happen. Now, Perfume Parlour do one called Eminent Wood, which is a clone of it, which is very good actually. It smells an awful lot like it. And this is like really, really cheap. I think you can buy a bottle of this, a 50ml bottle for £14, which is excellent. Now, this I got for under £30. Now, because this is a new one, this is sort of Lattafa have launched this and they're chucking it out onto the market and everybody's after it. This is why it's still kind of being hit around the £30 mark. I'm sure in time it will drop off and you'll be able to pick it up on Amazon Prime or something like that for a lot less. But it is popular. It's a 100ml bottle and you do get a lot for your money. Even if you're paying £30, it's still, it's still good value. So before I get drawn into, this is where the video goes wrong every time, by the way, now, because now I get drawn into it. So what we'll do is we'll just talk about it, how it compares, and then sort of what it's like to wear. Now, because it's a clone of Initio's Oud for Greatness, Oud for Greatness does what an awful lot of other fragrances have done, and the reason I don't want it is because I've got 7 or 8 fragrances that do the same thing. They mix ambroxan, they mix ethyl maltol to give that massive opening that you associate and was pioneered by Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kernighan. It's sweet, it's airy, it's candy flossy, it's got that sweet woods underneath it, it's very sugary, got big punch to it, fills a room, follows you around, which is exactly what this does, which is exactly what the original does, and which is exactly what so many others in that world do. Now, we can't avoid the fact that we're talking about clones here, but I will just say one thing for food for thought, shall we say. What was on the market that did the Candy Floss airy vibe that Baccarat Rouge 540 does before Baccarat Rouge 540? I don't think anyone had done it. Yet since Baccarat Rouge has been such a successful perfume, there's now about 8 out there that I can think of in the niche world, let alone the clone world, that are doing exactly the same thing. So, you know, let's kind of keep a little bit grounded before we start talking about clones and inspirations, because obviously it's not only smaller companies that do it, there are a lot of big companies out there that do it as well. So that's why I'm not getting involved in it. I'm not going to go into this debate. If you like clones, buy them. If you don't. It's as simple as that. And that's as far as I'm going to go with it. So anyway, to paraphrase, this is a fairly good clone. Now, what we need to do though is we need to understand what the original smells like. And the original has, if you look at the notes in the original, you have lavender, you have saffron, you have nutmeg, you have oud, you have patchouli, and you have musk. And you have a very sweet, airy perfume with an oudy base that draws you back in. So everything, when you're wearing the original, it's all out in the air, but you have an anchor that's sort of attaching all that floaty, airy sweetness to your skin. This does exactly the same thing. There's a few definitions, you know, note definitions that are different. This is a little bit way off. I think on the nutmeg, I don't really get it too much in here. The patches here though, it's sweet, it's airy. The oud is fine. The oud in the original is actually really, really good too. It's non-offensive, non-skanky, but it does actually smell a bit oudy. This doesn't smell so much oudy, but you know, I'm wearing it. It does stick to your skin, and it does have that kind of mysterious base to it, which is what I'm assuming is the oud note. Now, I am wearing this, and I've worn it all day today. I've worn it yesterday, and because this is like my 4th attempt at recreating this video, I've sprayed it about 4 times in the last 2 hours. So this whole house stinks of this stuff, so I'm not going to spray anymore. But what I will say is, yesterday I was doing some housework and I sprayed this, because obviously I was trying to get to know it better before I did the review. And I was done my housework and all the rest of it, and I suddenly realised I had to run around to the shop to get a couple of bits and bobs. So I've legged it round to my local shop, and I've walked in there, and I know the guy that works there, and as I walked in, he went, "Oi, mate, you smell the bollocks. What is that you're wearing?" So I told him, and I wrote it down, and he was like, "Do you know what, mate, that is the business. I'm going to have some of that. How much is it?" And I said, "You get it for about 30 quid. He went, "Yeah, that's all right, isn't it?" And then it suddenly dawned on me, if I was wearing the original, and I'd have told him, "Oh, this is from Initio, blah, 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 blah. This costs £250 for 90 ml. So he would have told me to get out of the shop and laughed at me. So again, that kind of reinforces the need for clones. If he were to buy this, which I'm thinking he's going to, will that have taken away any business from Initio? No, not at all. There is no way he would be spending £250 to buy the original of this. He would just buy this clone and be happy with it. He's got no interest in the original. He's got no interest in perfume. He just appreciated the way I smelt, and he wants to replicate that and smell like that himself. So that's what he's going to do. So I don't think that is damaging the brand in any way, shape or form. There's something about this bottle that really rankled with me, and I find it a bit weird. I don't like it. I don't approve of it. I much prefer someone like Perfume Parlour making this, doing exactly the same thing as this. They smell pretty much, in fact, you don't actually need this unless you want all the presentation and all the rest of it. You can get this one from Perfume Parlour because they're pretty much on a level. Neither of them are exactly like the original, and neither of them smell bad. They're both very pleasant to wear. And this one probably, you can get 2 bottles of this. You can get 100 ml for the same price. So it's horses for courses. If you've got a lot of perfume and you just want a clone of it, you're probably better off with that. If you don't have a lot of perfume and you want a workhorse that you can wear all the time, get that. It performs well. Now, what surprised me in the shop was I didn't realise sort of 3-4 hours after applying it, it was still that airy. It still had that draw. So the performance is very, very good. I find it, like a lot of that ilk, to be quite difficult to detect after a while, but like Thomas Kosmala's number 4, which is one that I do smell quite well, and Mancera's Instant Crush, because this has got that oudy note in it, it sits on your skin. So although it is still floating around you, it's not really projecting that you can notice. If you put your nose to your skin, you'll still smell it. Don't get me wrong, it's not disappeared, but it kicks out a lot more than you think it does. So it's pretty good. I mean, it's certainly one that's unisex. Anyone can wear this. Any age can wear this. It'll probably suit the younger thrusters a bit better because of its, its volume. It's quite a shouty perfume. It's a, "Hey, look at me," kind of perfume. So, you know, it's worth that. If you're looking for a, you know, a party frag or, you know, a going out kind of thing, and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you do want to smell like you have spent a lot of money, this isn't a bad call. So there you go. I'm a bit ambivalent towards it. Rich, as I say, loves the original. I'm not a massive fan. I don't dislike it. I just don't need it. I don't want to own it. But Rich does. He absolutely loves it. So, you know, this is a review for Rich. But because Rich knows it so much better than me and he loves it, I don't think this will satisfy his urge for it. I think he will only deal with the real thing now. So, you know, again, it's not hurting the brand that way because Rich will only buy the original. So there you go. Anyway, this has been such a bloody nightmare to film this one. I've been lost trying to review this so many times, so I've almost given up on it, and then I thought I'm not going to bother, and then this is my last crack at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bid you farewell and let you know that we will see you soon on the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this. Also, yeah, why don't we have a little chat about clones while you're here? Leave some comments, favourite clones, worst clones, that kind of thing, and we'll have a bit of a laugh about it. But that's my take on it. As you can probably gather, I'm a bit nonplussed by it. I'm not offended by it. I don't dislike it. It is what it is, really, isn't it? So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to have a beer. So thank you very much for your time, and we will see you on the next video. Cheers and bye.